Hey, what type of TV do you have? Do you have a smart TV? What brand is that smart TV?
All right, so go watch his video. He's got a brief kind of idea of what's going on and explains what's happening with the TV change. And I'll give you some more background on the TV stuff here and some stuff you can do. But for that, he was an acquired taste for me because his videos were very loud, and I found him kind of off-putting to begin with. But his content is good, so please give him a chance if you haven't. I know he's loud in your face, but that's kind of the point of what he's doing because I know people don't listen. I have something in my hair there. Anyway, so to move on with the TV stuff. So Vizio used to be a California-based brand, and this is why I don't trust American companies anymore. Beyond the fact that American companies really cannot produce quality goods. Now, Vizio was the exception. They were producing some good quality TVs. I have a Vizio Smart TV. But there are some things you can do. So yes, Walmart has bought that brand. His video is from February 25th. Sorry, I'm late to this, but I feel like the information still needs to be posted out in case you're looking at buying a TV and then you can't find that old stock that's still new that may be still California based and is not something that Walmart has their hands in, even though I think they're going to be able to acquire it anyway. But Vizio TVs used to be inexpensive. They probably will go back to that. Like when I bought my Vizio, it was like, I think $150. That was like a few years ago now. And so your options are what? TCL, Hisense, if you want cost-effective brands. Now, I'm not interested in 4K, so generally I can get my TVs a little bit cheaper. I'm strictly 1080, and I can go into more about that and why if you want later on. But I generally don't buy 4K TVs. If I get one that I can repair, I may use it, but I'm not going to spend on a 4K TV. And again, I have my reasons for that, and that's a whole nother video if you want. If you want it, let me know. Anyway, so what he's talking about is that the smart functionality of your TV, we're talking the apps partially, but also just the passive smart connection. If you didn't know, if you have a smart TV that's connected to your Wi-Fi or is connected to your hardline network in your house, it will be recording your audio. This is not a conspiracy thing, it's fact. They record the audio. Certain keywords are cued into, they log what you say. The same if you have the home devices like Alexa, Google, stuff like that. I've since unplugged all mine because I did not like the randomly listen to my conversations. If you have ever experienced in your home when you're having a conversation with family and your smart device starts talking to you saying it didn't understand that, that should be your cue right there to unplug your devices because they are listening and recording your data. That's not a joke. That's not to scare you. It's the reality. They record your conversations. The only reason it says I don't understand you comes up is because it thinks you were talking directly at it instead of just passively recording it, and it's recording that. That's what's happening. I'm not trying to scare anybody. That's the truth. And there is evidence that was provided online in multiple places. They're recording that. You can also check your Google logs. There's places in there to see what audio it's recorded. They keep your audio. Your phone does too. You can turn that off to a degree, but it has got to a point where they're in your home recording what you say. So what can you do about your television? Try to make this video under 5 minutes if I can. You can, if you're comfortable, open the back of your TV, disconnect your Wi-Fi card, or completely remove it. If there's no Wi-Fi card, it cannot connect to the wireless. Granted, you're going to lose the app connectivity, but it may be worth having just another smart device rather than your TV. Anyhow, I would advise that if you can. For me, I'm using a game console to do so, not my TV. That's because I'm into gaming and I already have that capability. Secondarily, never plug your TV into a wired connect. And if you're one of those people that's like, but I need to update the firmware. Okay, let's say you want to update the firmware. There's always a USB option for firmware updating. Use the USB option. You may not want to update firmware if you're not going to use the apps. If you're just using the TV as an input connection source, like you're just plugging your gaming consoles into it and you're just plugging in other devices to it, then you probably don't need to update the firmware, as that may be what's going to be required to get those to access the network. Maybe not. I don't know the ins and outs of that in particular. I would assume, again, the base functionality of network connectivity is going to give Walmart what they would need to record your data. But never plug your TV in and remove the wireless chip if you can. Get rid of it. It's not going to be needed. You're not going to need it just to watch TV and stuff. We're luckily at a point where TVs are not requiring internet connections. When we get to that point, I think we're going to see a huge rise in the amount of half smart TVs, right? Where they have app capability, but you don't have to hook them up. But I am concerned that may become a future where you're required to hook your TV up to internet. So anyway, if you have any questions on that, guys, feel free to leave them in comments. I'll do a video response to, what questions I can if you have any. And if you do want to see that other video or you want another video on, any other topics in here, let me know. I'll be glad to do those. So